everybody.
Hello.
Having some minor technical difficulties here on the side. Apparently the file that you were watching there is completely just done.
It's not my fault, except it's my fault.
Oh, okay.
It's
cool.
Shelly's fault, but not her fault.
So to kick this thing off proper, hi everybody, welcome to the Unreal Engine live training stream. I'm Alexander Paschall, and with me today is Ian and Mieszko. And I'm not going to attempt to pronounce your last name this time, because last time I really messed it up.
So. But you did well with the name, so that's fine.
Alright.
Cool. So yeah, let's jump into some nice AI stuff and all that.
Okay, so last time we left off.
And this is my coffee.
Yeah, this is his coffee.
That's
It'll
the
be
coffee.
Doing absolutely nothing during this stream, except being
drunk.
That's what you all watched in the video. Is
right.
that happening,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
That was very important. I had to, sorry.
So to do a lot of the things that we wanted to.
We are having audio issues.
What kind of audio issues?
It was, oh, okay. I turned it down
Okay.
because somebody complained that it was too low, so I turned it up.
Oh.
Apparently, up was too high,
Yeah, up is a
so
little.
I'm turning it down.
Okay.
So it's
Oh,
where
are we-
it normally is now.
Okay.
It's not AI issues.
Okay.
AI is fine.
Then let me
The
know
line's
if we're
fixed.
getting
Well,
worse
yeah, I
stuff.
turned it down.
Yeah. Okay.
So when we left off last time, we were doing a bunch of stuff in Blueprint. We had just migrated everything to a data table and a bunch of other minor stuff. And to really push it forward and to give Mieszko a chance to hop on and be awesome, we've decided to migrate the project to C++. Now, we're actually going to do this live. And I did have Alexander post up the video that Lauren had done 2 weeks ago. That went through the setting up of 2015, making sure C++ is installed and so forth. So if you guys want to follow along, that's great.
Yep.
We did get a question in the forums about 2013. Unknown. It should be fine if you're pulling from Git and if you're up to the 4.11 preview 6 range, it should be fine.
Yeah, but for
But
safety's
honestly, we don't
sake-
know
Yeah, for
because
safety's
we're
sake,
told to
I'm
build
gonna
with 2015.
suggest the Lauren video. It's if you saw the Tanks Paper 2D Zombies and Tanks game that they've been working on their new series. It's the first video of that basically. I'd suggest going and checking out. Do 2015.
It's free.
Yeah, there's a community.
It's community.
It's free.
It works with plugins apparently. So
Yeah, and it's not like they're going to go back to 2013 ever. So like,
No,
why not
we're
just
not.
move forward with it?
And so what we're going to do today is we are going to convert our project to C++, update it to 4.11 because there's a lot of really good stuff for AI in there, and we are going to then build a couple classes, basically convert our good food class and our character class to C++, and then build 2 other classes, a data provider
Yes.
and an EQS test. So basically like 2 of the things that you absolutely cannot do in Blueprint right now.
That's correct.
And we're going to show you basically how easy it is, and we'll go from there. So first things first is we need to convert our project. I have actually made some duplicates already. So I doing my test over here. It was fine to do in place. So I'm just going to go ahead and open that. We're going to more options. We're going to convert in place. Now I've made backups. So if you haven't made your own backups, really seriously have it make a copy for you. For me, it was just C drive on this thing is a little full and it was being weird and saying it wasn't going to do it. So it just copied it in place and made it go from there. So everything's going to be the same. We have play. We have our guys. They run around. Everything's cool. They go fall down and grab apples, right? So how do we convert this project to C++? It's super easy. In fact, if you go to File and we say New C++ class, and we say we want a new actor, because we're going to create our good food actor here. We're going to come in here and we're going to name it. What did we end up naming all of this stuff? And I have my test files over here, mainly because I want to make sure that we have easy access just in case we need to copy and paste anything else. We're going to call it AIS CPP stat item, and it's going to automatically build us some stuff. We're going to create class, and then we get to wait. It's going to build our project. It's going to create this class. It's going to move some stuff around.
Well,
Open Visual Studio.
it's an actually interesting naming convention. Why do you put a CPP in a name of a file that is?
For me, it was because we had a class already named IIS
Right,
stat item. So I just to differentiate between the two to make it easier to find when we're going through the list.
Okay.
Not a good naming convention. I understand that, and I apologize. But we already named it that. So
Yes, okay. I just mean make your life easier and name your classes reasonably.
exactly. Don't name them like me. And be consistent, man.
That
Use
helps.
underscores when you use
That
underscores.
helps, yeah.
And cap it. You choose a case and stick with it, kind of deal. Camel case
Camel
or what is it when you do every?
Hungarian notation.
No.
No?
You don't want that. No.
What is Hungarian notation?
That's because it's not casing. It's prefixing variable names with
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you're
like
right.
stuff indicating the type. Like
BIF.
B
Yeah.
is the only thing we have from Hungarian notation, but you also have like P for pointers and S for string and
Yeah. But if you're
N
going to
for
use them, be
ints and stuff like
consistent.
that.
So,
But if you do that, be consistent. But don't do that in Unreal because it's you will get confused while switching between your own sources and engine sources.
yep. So
Just
as
tip, pro tip.
whoa. Oh, I shook it.
Yeah, that's the interesting Windows feature.
Thank you, Windows. You're the best. Okay, so as we can see, we now have Visual Studio open, and in the background, this is actually the bar for Unreal, and we can see that it added a new button for compile. I believe everything that we're running right now will be able to hot reload, so we're not going to ever have to compile within here. So if you guys are afraid about going in there or hitting build and having the wrong build settings, it's not going to matter. Thankfully for us, that it's just going to work.
Yeah, hot reloads work reasonably well for simple projects.
Yep. And what we're doing is
Give it a try.
fairly simple.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have our CPP and our statitem.h, our CPP and our 8.h file for our stat item. And really, all we need on our stat item is a couple of variables. And these things we don't need to do anything all that impressive with them.
Just one actually.
Yeah, is this one just one? Or did we do
Array
both?
of desired.
That's right, the array.
Stats.
Wow, really? You don't have an open with anything?
We're on the other screen now, so.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to. I got my notes open over here. Well, I have the folder with my notes in them, and yeah, it's like, hey, I'm not gonna open those with anything. So anyway, got it open.
Yeah.
Yep.
Two properties.
And-
I'm wrong.
Wow. We are
Yep,
getting a
we
lot
ended up
of
with two
questions.
properties. Oh, a lot of questions already?
Oh, yeah, like I'm trying to keep up with everyone. Thank you for all these questions. This is great.
Yeah, so for the first little bit here, I'm going to go ahead and type for our first property. And properties for what we're doing right now, these properties will show up as variables. Properties could also be like what you see in the sidebar.
They will show as variables if you mark them properly. If you you define those as U properties, but you still need to add like blueprint, read, write, or like editable, or whatever are the names, like edit anywhere, those kind of things, so that those things get exposed. Without those. Like having U property that doesn't have those extra markup is still usable because you can, like they get saved automatically, replicated. They are subject to UE4 RTTI, but they're not exposed to editor until you add that stuff.
So I've just quickly typed in the comments of what we're going to need. Our primary stat index, basically, what is the big stat on this? What is the maximum effect that we're going to have? We're going to manually define that. And then also the array that equates to the array of stats that we have on the character. And this will be like if we want to, give you 50 health and 100 stamina, but also take away 1 intelligence or something, right? It could all be affected here, and it all gets added into the character.
Alcohol.
Huh?
Alcohol. Like
Alcohol. Yeah, exactly, right?
That makes sense.
It gives you strength, lowers your intelligence. Right, yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect. So, can you tell me, so I'm going to start typing the U property bit here. What exactly is the U property? What is this called?
It's a macro.
It's a macro?
Yeah, it's a macro that's being processed by Unreal Header tool, which is a thing that processes all the headers before compiling, and it generates extra stuff.
Gotcha. I always wondered that, because it's definitely not defined
Now you know.
in a
That's,
normal way.
that was a tooltip.
Yeah, I know, right? So within this macro, we're defining this value as blueprint read write, so we can find it, read it, and write it from our blueprint. Edit anywhere just makes it, I guess, so we can edit anywhere.
Yeah, in properties on the side.
Yeah, and the property on the side, right? It's not just that we can access it in blueprint, but we could actually see the property from a place character.
Yeah, yes.
Or place
Those
stat
are
item in the world.
separate
And then
things.
I'm giving it a category of stats, so that way it's just easy to find. And then this one is going to be an int32. We're going to call it a primary stat index. And I don't like how it does that.
But
It does. I mean, I get it, but it
Just get used to it.
it's just so. And so we need this line again, like so. It's going to be the same thing, except this value is going to be a T array, which is an array. If you're familiar with even the arrays in Blueprints, it's the exact same thing, except our implementation. I was talking to Richard about it, and you can chime in. But the reason we use our own array class is because it works on all the platforms we support. It handles memory management and everything. It goes through everything that we have in Unreal, but it works basically just like you would expect an array to work.
Yeah, it's basically a dynamic array, which means if you add elements to it, it reallocates memory underneath automatically. It just like handles all the memory related stuff. You just add, remove, read.
Yep.
But there are also functions on T arrays that allow you to like manually manage something. So when you remove elements, you can say like don't shrink, because when you shrink, it just reallocates and it's not good for performance. If you know you're going to be adding and removing stuff from array, it's better not to resize it. It's just like assume like when it reaches the maximum size, just never remove, like never shrink it. It just saves you performance.
Yeah, and so
memory fragmentation.
Like these two variables right here. One, they already exist in our class. So we're going to get some really cool functionality here in a second. And two, when we compile this, like we're going to be able to like make our stat item that we want, the good food item, like just be this class, and we're not going to have to rebuild any rebuild any of our blueprint functionality. We're just going to have to go change out some variables, which is really, really quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop back in the editor. I'm going to hit compile.
Have you saved that thing?
Yep, I did save. I control S all the time. Force of habit with Unreal.
Because I don't. Like,
Yeah.
I told you. It's like I'm always
Vax just saves.
It's not
for
even
you.
Vax. It's just Visual Studio. When you compile stuff, it saves everything before, like before compiling. So I'm not in a habit of saving files in the meantime, which obviously beat me in
Sometimes can get you.
rear a couple of times already in my life.
So compile completed down there. We did not get an error, so we can go into our base class here. Go to our good food class, which should be the one that inherits directly from actor. It does. And we can see, nothing's happened yet. We got a few extra floaty bits in. Can you maximize? That'd be great. There we go. Extra little floaty bit there. I think we decided that we were going to delete something in case we need it later, but we don't need it. And now all we need to do to get access to the quote functionality, the two variables that we created, is we need to just reparent our blueprint. So that can be found in File, and then we can look up AIS and CPP stat item. So we click that, we wait, done. And under stat, we have our primary stat index and our stat restore. And you'll see that stat restore and primary index that we had in the blueprint originally now have the 0 behind them.
Oh, that's interesting. I was wondering what's going to happen with that.
Yeah, it would be really awesome if it just replaced them, but you'd never really know, if someone's going to be named the same. They weren't having this in mind. So we're like, we'll keep both, but they do.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because what would you expect to be the behavior if the type was different? Right?
Exactly.
For example.
But apparently we do make an assumption, we make a guess, saying that maybe if you did this, maybe you want them to have the same values. So even though we didn't specify anywhere any values for this array, It's brand new. It's a brand new variable. It comes in completely stocked up with our previous array's value.
So this is one of the multiple benefits we get from Unreal Engine's RTTI, because those like the properties that are exposed as U properties are identified with some in some mechanisms by name, and since the name is the same and type is the same, then we can just copy those information, because under the hood all that stuff is held in the same structures.
So now all we need to do is correct our blueprint, and so we can take stat restore, drop it in here, and grab that. And we're gonna have to it's easier to do find references, and then we turn off that so we can find everything everywhere. But it looks like this one just has one other location, which is right up here.
Easy fix.
Easy fix. This one's like the easiest one. It gets a little more complicated when we get into the character. And then we find references for this one. Doesn't actually look like primary stat index is used anywhere. No, that's not right. Okay, turn that thing back on. There we go. Wow. I was pretty sure this was used somewhere. Hold on, wait a minute. Let's compile first. No, it's apparently not being used anywhere.
You don't have everything indexed. That's the red thing at the bottom of the screen.
Well,
it says you have some stuff unindexed. I'm not sure you have to do it.
It shouldn't actually matter. It should just make it faster. No, I'm not.
No, I like this suggestion from Balson. It's just delete the variable and then find all the errors.
That's what I usually do.
Yeah, me too. It's just like, oh, I need to replace that. Delete. Great suggestion.
Uh-oh.
What I do?
I thought I might have.
What I do in C++, I just rename the variable and see if other tools fail to find the variable.
Yep.
But it's not really possible renaming here, because it will automatically find all the references, rename those as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
One less.
And now I'm compiling shaders, because that makes sense.
That's all the blueprint shaders you can compile.
Well, actually, no, it makes a lot of sense because it has to open up all the blueprints. Yeah, this is not the wisest thing for me to do. Hey, let's go.
Let's just continue talking.
Yeah, we just.
You can switch back to C++.
Yeah, we can switch back to C++, or maybe if my mouse will work.
There you go.
Thank you, mouse.
Although, actually, we're kind of done with this class, so we need.
Are we?
Yeah. Because we're not migrating anything into its behavior.
Right.
And so the.
Right. Yeah, yes, you're correct.
That's just kind of done, and yeah.
Simple. So one of the main reasons we moved those two properties to CPP class is so that we can easily access that information in the native code. Because otherwise, it is possible to find, get values for properties from blueprints in C++, but you need to find you need to find them by name, and it's really slow and inconvenient, and slow, and big pain in.
I mean, we walked. So when we were talking about doing this, we walked through the logic of being like, I want to get access to a blueprint class because we're getting a lot of them, and now I want to get access to a property on said blueprint class within C++, but the compiler has no understanding of the stuff that I've done in Blueprint. So there are ways, but they're finagly and terrible.
Yeah, if we showed those things to you, you would never want to use them.
Exactly. So instead of doing that, we're just going to do everything in C++.
Yes.
And
especially we're creating C++ class anyway. We need one for EQS tests because you cannot do those in Blueprint. So it's just makes it faster and easier to work with.
I'm going to attempt to cancel indexing here as it's. I didn't even think that
would work.
Well, that it would take this long. I mean, it's being really weird right now.
There's a second cancel button.
I know, I've hit them both. I'm like, cancel all the cancels.
That cancels out the cancel.
It cancels the canceling. Why didn't I think of that?
Yep,
Alt F4. Did somebody suggest that?
I did.
Shelley suggests Alt F4. Yeah, sure, why not? Oh, that didn't work. We're going to terminate it.
Oh, right. I'm so used to Control-Alt-Delete being the task manager thing, and I'm still getting used to, with Windows 7 and 10. It's not.
I just hope it won't have disastrous consequences.
Like the
Messing up all the shaders.
The one thing we just have to do is go back in
And make sure it works.
Yeah, well,
It
yeah, change those two variables again, because it should find any of the references to the variables because they're
Thanks for the transition.
They're just held. So let's go back in, and which one did I use? Oh, this one will tell us. So launching 411, and the thing's off screen over here on the other screen for us. So let's bring this over.
To the side.
Yeah, right. Why over there? Oh, it's because it's the primary screen.
We'll open here.
Yeah, it'll open there.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Go back into our base class. Good food class. Did I save? Nope. File.
You can control S all the time, yeah.
Yeah,
all day long.
except for the one time that I needed to control S.
Oh, well.
Whatever. Yes. And it looks like... Whoa, hold on. Yeah, let's compile real quick. Apparently I didn't save the compile? That was super weird.
That was
I just didn't see it. Reparent. AIS. Okay.
Maybe you opened the wrong one.
Did I?
Oh, well, apparently.
Okay. File open project. The disadvantage of having 3 projects, right? No, that one's the test. This one was the actual stream.
What did this start with? Make sure that you have proper naming conventions so you...
That was index all the things.
Index all the things.
Oh, okay.
That's really, really super odd, because compile... Okay, fine. Let's,
Introduce an error here.
Well, yeah, actually, we'll just, no, there's a D there. I don't know why. Control S.
And see if it affects the compilation. If not, then...
What? You are full of it.
Yes.
Compile nothing. Alright, what would
Shelly
you
was
suggest?
ready with the censor button.
Yeah,
he didn't say it. It's okay.
I mean, we can just try build solution, I guess.
Oh. Yeah, I have very little experience with...
Zio Yuri brings up a good point. Why not launch from Visual Studio?
Like I said, I have very little experience.
Yeah, because I have even less experience with doing that.
I'm just always working with the editor, and I have to...
I mean, you can just like launch it from the thing.
Yeah.
You could just
Sure.
have it.
Yeah, as long as it works. I mean,
It
should,
does.
right?
Like if you
Where?
were questioning whether or not this is the correct one in Visual Studio, you can just do
Okay.
Yeah. Then we will have the correct
Yeah,
one.
there's
that's
like
for
a launch from options.
F5.
Where?
Just press F5 and see what happens. Yes, build it. Build all the things. Or Control F5, because F5 will attach the debugger. It won't matter really.
That's crazy.
Oh, whoa.
That's 2015.
Did it work?
Maybe?
Did that just pop up?
Yep.
I'm going.
No.
Yes.
Obviously not. Good job, guys. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you, Zio, Yuri. You're the best.
So it did work?
It did work.
Yeah, it totally worked.
Yeah, you can. Well, hold on. All right. Not only did it work, but it showed up.
Shelly's waiting for that one.
So
Not only did it work,
this
it worked.
person, whatever.
Well, okay, so I gotta throw that. Zio is an awesome person.
Give him a t-shirt or something.
Well, he's always making sure that our
He already has a
subreddit.
t-shirt?
It's our subreddit that he maintains. Make sure it's always nice. If you go to reddit.com/r/Unreal Engine, that is the guy who
The main question
maintains
is,
that and also
does
gives
he
us
have a
good
t-shirt?
advice.
Yeah, did you give him a t-shirt?
Yeah, does he
T-shirt?
have...
I think we can give him a t-shirt. I'm gonna put it in the to-do list. Give him a t-shirt.
It's official. Don't mention
One of the
it.
mics is peaking.
Just get you a
That's not
t-shirt.
good.
I think when you all yelled,
Okay, we need to stop yelling.
No.
Sorry.
Who's yelling?
I can only do so much.
Let's yell at them. They're yelling. Okay, so
Who's
we got
yelling?
we got stat restore in, and you know what? If we're gonna break it, it's gonna show really quick. So you're kind of absolutely right. We'll just go ahead and delete those. See what happens. Because if I play, it should compile and says item of stat. Okay. which one's item of stat? You can go away. You know what's really nice? What? Did you see it?
No.
Why? That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be
really
useful.
awesome. That'd be super awesome. Fine. Content.
Just type it, yeah.
Item of stat. Oh, it's going to be a
Instance on the map.
this thing.
Ah! And there's your error to the right.
Yep. There it is.
Ah!
So yeah, note to self: before these primary stat index, we need to make sure that we index our projects, which actually seems like a really good idea. Actually, honestly, this probably wouldn't take as long because it has to open up like every asset. If we didn't have the Infinity Blade stuff in here, if we just had our stuff,
of course,
it'd be quick.
Yes.
But you saw I was trying to compile every shader for everything that we were opening, and it doesn't quite know what not to open. Okay, so that
it says index all.
Yep, and it indexed all.
So it delivered.
It delivered. Yep. So went through. You can see that our guys are just doing their things and running around, grabbing food off the ground,
Spamming
falling
the
down.
screen with messages.
Yep. And actually, one other quick error.
Dropping down.
Yep.
This
Falling
animation.
Let's go ahead and open our character blueprint really quick before we move on. Back when we created our degradation loop here, this was an error that actually we found while we were actually creating the C++ for this. Their second stat isn't decaying because we're only decaying one stat at a time. So this is just to make sure that once they start, once their stam drops to 0, they actually start getting hungry. And you can see that that's going on over here, back here with these guys.
I mean,
So-
when their hunger drops to 0, they
Their
start.
hunger drops to 0, their stamina starts to drop. Once the stamina, and then their health. All right. Now, we need to continue on with our C++. And now,
To the Batmobile.
to the, we're not going to the
The C++
battle.
mobile.
The C++ mobile. We need, let's crack up on our notes here real quick, because there is an order for all of this. We need an AI character. We need a new AI character class. So it's basically we're going to replace our character dude here that we have.
So we need this class to be able in EQS test to just look for pawns or process pawns, because we have EQS generator, right, that generates those actors, but we still need to be able to read stuff from them in EQS test, and to make that easy and convenient, it's a lot better to have a native class for that purpose.
Yep. So I'm just, again, keeping with the naming convention that we have running for...
Which is wrong but consistent.
wrong but consistent. And it's going to create us a new one. What's happening in the background then for Visual Studio?
It's compiling stuff.
Well, no, I mean, like, this is already running. So what goes on now?
Might be hot.
Magic happens and it just works. Okay.
Might be hot reloaded. Yeah.
Whatever. I'll take it.
Ian,
Yeah.
are we on good food actor or AI character class?
We are on AI character class now. We have moved on, so we can move the little thing at the bottom there.
Yeah, nice.
We
Progress.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
You have to use your
We need to
words.
come up with a way that we can actually stealthily tell each other to make that happen. The little bar across
press
the
a button, like
Push the
forward,
button.
backwards.
Like, no, that didn't work. Okay.
Get you like a little flag to raise. You know, we'll figure out something.
Okay. So, do I need to stop this?
Let's find out. I mean, just continue working,
Okay.
save, and
We'll see what happens.
This is
because I haven't
what I hear
used
from
hot reload
programmers so often.
recently, but at some point it was working like that. When you saved the sources, the editor detected the changes in the CPP and just recompile automatically. That might not be enabled by default, but yeah, let's just see.
Yeah.
Just
Since this is just another property, and this is the... Wait. Yeah, this is the only thing we're adding here. It's just another property. It's another T array of floats. Blueprint read write, edit anywhere, category, stat. We're just calling it's the stat desirability. If you remember back when we created our arrays of arrays of arrays for the various things that our character wanted and needed, and the mins and the maxes for it. Stat desirability was actually one of them. Now, we could have given access to C++ for our entire struct in our data table, but we weren't in. I guess we didn't want to push C++ that much further because that's a whole other class we'd have to create for the data type. So we kept it a little more simple and just said, we'll just pull the stat desirability out of there, and then we'll keep modifying that for the time being, given our scope for what we're doing here. So this happens just to be the thing that we do, and I'm probably gonna have to stop this, right? What do you do? Just hit F5?
No, wait.
I saved.
Yeah, and okay, go to the editor and let's just see what happens if you press compile.
Okay. Okay.
If it explodes, we can always run it again.
Everything okay over there, Shelly?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Are you sure?
We're gonna move on to inheritance now.
Okay.
If it compiles and works.
Yeah, if it compiles and works, if it not. Oh, well, it compiled.
Yeah, let's see if it reloaded.
So we'll go into here, and we are going to reparent our character here. By the way, I was just selecting a dude into the world, and using the edit blueprint button over off to the side, and there is our our CPP character. Select it. Never mind the warnings down here. It's talking about the our weird dialogue system thing that we created. And now we have our stat, and there's our stat desirability.
Yay!
And our stat desirability down here, 0, was set to the same values.
Not zeros.
It's 1, 1.
Yeah, 1, 1, and zeros.
Yeah, 3 1s and a bunch of zeros. All right, now we need to, let's find these real quick. I don't think we're actually using these anymore, like anywhere, because we got rid of the entirety for stat desirability, because it's all, the array is no longer usable. I mean, we dumped everything into our struct array. But we kept the values, which we're going to go ahead and just kind of run with at the moment. So we'll compile, we'll save, we'll hit play, and if something breaks, doesn't break, rock on. Okay, so that's the whole inheritance thing. Like, that's it. We reparented. We had everything that we had from character already set up. We had the anything that we had added to this, like our UI widget that displays in the world. It stuck with us, but we got a new property from C++. This is like really easy, just like getting the stuff that we need into the pile, and now we can move on to.
So the hiccups we had is pretty much worst case scenario.
Yeah, really, we just
So you will be
index
prepared.
beforehand. Index beforehand.
You will be totally
not at
prepared
all.
for all
Or
of
not
this
at all,
weirdness,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so up next, go to our notes. We talk about inheritance, and our EQS test is next. And this one is really in your hands, sir, because I'm going to be typing it, and you're going to be talking about it.
So I guess we can add it from the editor, right? I mean the new file, new class.
New C++ class.
Not that I've ever done that. I'm just always creating files.
Yeah, you're
old school. Like
you're doing it.
I'm just a programmer.
Yeah. So
show all classes.
Show all classes, and then
no. So that's env
env
query
test.
Yeah, and we need
we just a raw test.
Yeah,
right?
the raw basic test.
Okay, and then we'll hit next. What do we call this?
You told me.
I don't know. I think you called it my.
No, it's like you called them. You created this file for me. I created the other one. But the file is. We can always.
It doesn't matter what we name this.
Doesn't really matter. I mean, you name it whatever you want. Maybe you should switch over to your. Use your name.
My terrible naming convention.
Yes.
We'll put CPP there.
Test.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have a blueprint version of this, so we can just. We will call this stat test. And go from there.
But you're inconsistent now. But never mind. Please continue.
But my logic is internally consistent. You're terrible, Ian. That's all I'm hearing. You're so terrible.
This is really love having him on. He just gets to mock you for the entire thing.
That's fine. Make me cry. Whatever.
You're not funny. That sounds like Bender from Futurama.
All right, let's crack open our header over here. We'll start there. Actually, is anything... Wait, no, that's the data provider.
Yeah.
I don't need that one yet.
Yeah.
We'll crack this header. Come on. Work with me, fingers.
We can just, drag and drop it, I guess.
I'm not listening to you anymore. Because you're right. All right, so... Oh, wow, we do have a lot over here, don't we? Okay. So let's talk about... You've created a U property over here. So we've created another, I guess...
Yeah, so, okay,
variable, but you've done protected. Why'd you do protected?
Okay, so first of all, when you have generated body, the default access level is private. So you need either protected or public here if you want to be able to access it from anywhere else than this class.
Okay.
But, okay, so what do we want to do with this test? It's a test that will basically score the provided items based on the amount of configured stuff.
Yeah.
Stat. So this is the property that allows user to specify what stat we need, and this FAI data provider in value is like a special structure that wraps up functional data provider functionality and nicely exposes it to the editor. You'll see that once we compile it. The thing that Ian is typing in now, that's a convenient way of basically changing or modifying or setting the name of a given class, the way it will be displayed in editor without changing the C++ class name, which is usually a hassle.
Oh, yeah, it's a total pain.
Protected is wrong. You need to be right. It just hurts my eyes.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's better.
Okay.
It's perfect.
Okay.
It could be since we're not going to derive from this class, so it could be private just as well. I encourage anyone doing anything with C++ not to go public with every single property, because that's not a good practice. Just use protected or private. Don't use public, because then when you debug your stuff and you're not working alone and you wonder how did this thing got changed, and you have getters and setters, just put a breakpoint there and you can easily find out who's modifying your stuff. If you just have public properties, you need to use memory watches or memory traps, which is inconvenient, and you can set up to 4 or 8. I think 4.
I have no idea what I'm typing right now.
You're just retyping stuff.
Yeah, so...
That's the constructor.
So this is a constructor. So I renamed its name something differently on the other screen.
U AI.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, because
constructor.
It's this right here.
Yeah, constructor has the same
Gotcha.
name as the class name.
Okay, and then I guess these are what we're passing into it, or
Yeah, that's Unreal 4 Voodoo.
Unreal 4 Voodoo. Okay.
Just copy paste.
Is there?
I usually copy paste it. I mean, I know what it does. It allows you to do advanced things with components and stuff like that.
Okay.
In actors especially, but just copy paste it.
Yeah, we'll get you to talk more about it next Tuesday. What do you say?
Sure.
Virtual void run test.
Yeah, void, not void.
Yeah, he's
Void?
Yeah, even Shirley's over like, come on, this
Come
is
on.
amateur hour.
Void.
Void.
It's not a
Void.
word.
The odd.
Test F.
Come on, minor typos.
env query instance ensign query instance close const override. Okay, that seems important.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's very convenient. If you implement virtual functions in child classes, it would basically override functions. It's a good idea to put override, like virtual functions. It's a good idea to put virtual override at the end, because it helps you detect when something changes in the parent implementation, if someone adds a new parameter or something, and you don't update, your function doesn't get updated, you will get compilation error. and so that you will know you need to update your own function as well.
Okay.
So it's pretty useful.
So run test here
It's
is
just, two
literally
functions.
the run test.
Yeah, that's the thing that processes the items and generates scores, or scores basically.
Right. And get description title here is...
Yeah, it's a function that allows you to specify how this thing will be named in the EQS editor.
Okay.
I mean, what it will display as a title.
Gotcha.
I think there's also another function that allows you to display like specific description based on the current parameters. But for simplicity's sake, I just decided we will just use this one, because you can always add this, and not to introduce like complexity that's not relevant to actual functionality.
Gotcha.
That's what I mean.
All right. And now we're going to get a little more real here, it looks like.
Go to
because
CPV file.
So this is a little blank in comparison to what we have on the other screen. And so starting off, we're going to need a couple more includes here, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So you have something, you have another include for environmental or environment query / items.
You spelled environment wrong.
Just copy paste.
Yeah, it's environment instead of environment.
Okay, we're going to copy paste that
There
portion
you go.
of it. Fine, and we'll just copy paste this bit out here, because that's another long one.
It's an,
So what does this include then?
Yeah,
It's
what is all that?
That's the EQS item type that we're going to be handling. This test is going. The whole point of this test is to process the food items, or like items that supply stats, and those are actors. So we're going to support only actor queries, and we're going to specify that in the constructor that's the only valid item type that this query will accept. I mean, this test will accept.
Okay, and we're also including our stat item.
Yeah, that's the thing we will be basically using.
Okay. And so you have a big chunk over here.
That's the constructor.
This is the constructor.
Yeah, you just need to change the class name.
Yep.
The UAIS stat test.
Yeah. Just go quickly. I'm going to go grab it.
You had it in that file as
Did I?
well. Yeah.
Where?
In the header name and just add you, but yeah, okay.
All right, whatever. Now you got me there.
Yeah, that's the way I do it. That's why I know.
Fair
That's
enough.
why I know.
Yeah, they're both named the same. Well, hey now, I double clicked. All right.
Yeah.
So this is just.
Like if you don't.
See, here's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
for you, this is probably like crazy basic, right? Like, I have no idea what this is doing.
So most like you usually okay. So this bit is always the same. If you want to add more, you add it like after the super. The super with like the capital S is calling the constructor of the super class, which is the env query test,
Gotcha.
and that runs that code as well with the same object initializer.
So we have a cost equals EENV test cost low.
Yeah, it's EQS does some test scoring, sorting based on test cost based on this variable, so that the first, the lowest cost tests get performed first, so that you end up with the smallest possible set when you finally get to the expensive tests. And this test is simple, like very simple. That's why it's slow, but if you implement a test that does a lot of line of sight traces, or like queries a lot of systems about a lot of stuff, you should use like medium or high. Line of sight traces like visibility tests are high cost, like that the ones we supply with the EQS system.
Okay, and this is going to be run test,
Yes.
which is the one that we're overwriting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just copying and pasting over that chunk.
Yes.
And so this is the beefy one. And do I really want to type all.
No,
of
you
this
don't want. You just
out.
want to copy, and I'll say what.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
Okay, yeah,
we'll do
this
it in
bit-
chunks. We'll
yeah.
do it in chunks.
This bit, we try to get our hands on a query owner, which in this case will be the guy that's asking for like to find food for him, or food or like items. So we first get an owner. The query instance owner is a weak object pointer, I think. That's why we need to first get stuff from it. If in the meantime this actor died or got removed in any like for any other reason, it won't crash. It will just return null. That's why in the condition statement below we just check if it's null or not.
Gotcha.
If it's null, then return. We don't score those items because the owner is dead anyway. So there's no point to waste.
Who cares?
performance.
He's dead.
He's dead. He doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Just destroy the code.
Okay. And so our first bit of bind data here. Float value min.
Yeah, float value min and max are two properties specified in the defined in env query instance. Well, not env query test, which basically are means of specifying a range of values you're interested in. So you might be looking for by using this test, you might be looking for items that have more than like 1 or more than half or more than 10, depending on the scale you have of like specified a stat. So if you have a lot of items and every item supplies you with food, but you just care about the ones that have more, that give you more than half of food, you can use those min and max to do that. We could not do that and then just make sure we don't use those values. It's just like an option. When you just paste those two lines here, you can use that range to improve your testing as well.
Gotcha.
And we need to pass those values down to the set score function anyway. I mean, some values, those are just convenient way of binding whatever you can put in the editor with what we put in the set score function.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do
now,
you?
huh?
Do you?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm not totally.
I'm following you a little bit.
Awesome.
I'm following you a little bit.
Because I know I'm mumbling a bit.
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm getting red cheeks. That's when my brain works harder. It just generates those.
Just generates that much more heat.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
If only we could just like convert heat to electricity, like Matrix.
If only there was something that did that. Yes. All right, for our next bit, needed
like generators.
Needed stat index.
Yeah, so that's the thing we added. That's this
the stat
AI data
index.
provider wrapper.
We are actually.
So as you can see, it's pretty much the same what we do with the max and min values, because those two are accepting the data providers as well. So it's pretty much like copy paste, and the last line is just getting the information from the data provider, and depending on its setup in the editor, it will just get you a static or dynamic value. And this loop is what does the actual work. It just gets every single item in this list as an like food supplying thing on a map if we use that generator. Basically, it's every single item in that list is whatever the generator EQS generator generated for us. Okay. So now we try to see if it's what we're interested in. So first we try to convert this item to an actor, which is the first line. The second line is checking if this thing is actually the specific stat item thing we care for.
Yep.
So that's the cast thing. And the third line is calculating the score. And the score in this case is if you're a stat item, then just call the get stat restore function that we need to add to the stat item. And if not, then 0. Then you're useless. Your score is 0.
Okay, so just out of curiosity, if needed stat, if we put in a 10 and we only have 7, is this just going to return? This will return null, so it'll return 0 again.
Or
actually, it'd be out of range for the array.
It will be out of range, but the function handles that.
The function handles. All right. Cool. So okay, that's one little
It's encapsulation.
unfortunate dead end that we've avoided. So sweet. And then it.setScore. I'm assuming this is.
So this IT is an iterator. It's a smart iterator that iterates over the collection of items still available in the query. And it's smart in a couple of ways, but we don't need to go into details. Basically, you call this function on the iterator to set the score for this item that the iterator is pointing at currently.
Okay.
So, and you need to pass all those parameters there so that it knows how to interpret whatever you're putting in.
Gotcha. And finally, we have the simple, I guess, the display there.
Trivial.
Yeah, trivial. Control C, Control V, and this is literally just how it's being displayed in the editor.
You know what? Add something there because currently it's identical to the class name, right? Just add something like description or whatever. I mean, no, title, so that people will see where this one is used and where the actual class name is used. Because the actual class name is used in the context menu when you just add a test. This one will be printed on the test node in the query.
Gotcha. But this is the title version.
Yeah.
All right. And so I believe with that, we are done with this.
So yes, like with this test, but it won't compile because we're missing this this function on the item.
Yep, we are. Yep, and we are missing. Wait, we're missing the function on the item or the function on the.
On the item.
That's right.
Yes.
Oops.
You lost it.
Oops.
You lost my function.
No. I have your function. I have the function. No, I was just thinking about it like, oh man, we forgot to add it while we were in there, and okay, whatever.
Because it wasn't needed for that step. The first step was convert to C++ and just make sure it works.
Yep, and I'm like, what are you talking about? What did we forget? And then you're absolutely right, because there is a force line in 32 over here, get primary stat. And then we also need the CPP file open up over here.
Yes.
So we're just gonna. Whoa, that one is a long one.
And
okay, so okay, guys. Just so we're clear on where we're at, we are back in our stat item header file, and we're adding in our function for getting the primary stat and then also getting the stat restore.
So getting the primary stat is like I said, it's better to have things protected or private and then have getters and setters. This is a getter for a property that is in this implementation public. I just should hide it or something. And making it protected in C++ doesn't influence the availability in blueprints. So just make it protected.
Okay. Okay. Do you want me to make it protected?
No, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
But yeah, I prefer to use the getters, setters than properties directly.
Gotcha.
Because it's better coding standard.
Okay.
Just saying.
All right. That's great. And
educating people.
Huh?
Educating people.
All right. And now we need to actually create our. Oh man, did I lose it? Ian, are you a terrible person? Don't answer. Nobody answer that.
You did lose it.
Or have you? No. This.
Wait, no. It's like all the implementations are in the header file.
Right. It doesn't need a CPP. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is good.
So the other one, as you can see, it just checks if the index supplied is valid, and if so, then returns the value, and if not, it returns 0. Zero. So
it's all just
it's safe.
It's all done there. We are good. All right. So we should be able to go back in the editor and build this. You think?
Yes.
Let's see what explodes.
It will fail. Always fails.
What if it doesn't fail?
Then.
Are we going to take bets and it was Ian's really bad spelling? If it
I
fails.
don't know. I mean, I
I mean, everybody's just waiting to see if
just
it actually
would
compiles before throwing down money, right?
pause the video, like pause the stream, and let people bet.
Oh, no, sorry.
Too late.
Compilation complete.
Looks
like I got it.
Something must be wrong.
We're still in a delay, so we can still have. Hold up. Up there rooting for don't fail in the chat.
So, okay, so we compiled. That's great. Here's a funny thing. Why were we able to compile? Oh, wait, because the data provider doesn't really carry that, right?
we don't have to. We can already create a test or modify
That's
the
right.
request query
That's right.
and just use a typed in value. And I suggest we did that now.
Okay, you want to do that now before? Okay,
No, I prefer you do that. You did that. Like it's
yeah, no,
Coverage.
I said we, and we is an inclusive me.
It was the royal we. The
Yes,
us.
the us.
We the king.
We the king will do this. All right, so let's go into our behavior tree really quick. We'll go down to our query here. And so we're in 4.11.
Right. Yes.
Preview 6. So you were going to see some stuff in here. Don't be alarmed.
Show people.
So everything has been dropped down here into the EQS header. Everything up here has been deprecated.
The old stuff has been deprecated. We copied all the stuff that has been used there to this new structure that's under EQS category. So none of the work you have in your behavior trees has been lost. It's just we moved some stuff in places so that it's easier to use in other places.
Yep. And in fact, you can see our Blackboard key, the desired object, hasn't changed at all.
Yes. This
And
has remained untouched.
here's our fine stat spawning actor. We can actually highlight that really quick, open it. And so our test is really, really, really small right now, right? Like it just distance 2.
Mm-hmm.
But now what we can do is we can right click and cross our fingers.
And see, like it says,
Ooh,
oh, it says something wrong. Wait,
what is this?
why we have 2? Are you sure we don't have 2 classes there? That's interesting. Anyway, amount of needed stuff. We can investigate that, or we can
I'm not
proceed.
even sure what that is. I mean, maybe it's a holdover from when it was you know. Hold on, Control S. Hold on. Let's add it and see what it says.
Save really quickly.
No, I think this is like a leftover from us not restarting the editor, and we just like compiled it once.
Because it got compiled. Yeah, I gotcha.
So it's like, I think it just won't be there when you restart the editor. So, and that's one of the things I wanted to like point out. When you have amount of needed stuff here, which is the class name, but when you instantiate it, you get the full description. That's
This
the
is
title,
the title,
yeah.
that bit that I added to that function at the end.
And there's another function that allows you to specify more things based on the properties, property values.
And so now what we can do is,
The needed stat.
yep,
So there's
there's our test, and where
higher. This one. Okay, so you can just type a value in here, or
we can be like 2.
yeah, and
right?
it will just be 2 always.
Yeah.
You can also use the drop down to select a data provider, and the default one is the query params.
So we could pass in from above, from the behavior tree. If we had it figuring out the stat that it wanted through the behavior tree, we could pass that down through using the Blackboard.
Yes.
Or we can create a data provider to handle this for us. So we can just create none right now.
If you use the EQS query, like the only provider that is there out of the box, you can just type a name in, and it will should show in other places where you try to use this query, and ask you to just file this. You need to like reselect the query. Just like make it like you select a non-query or reset
Like
this.
that one?
No. Go to the node, reset this value.
This value?
Yeah, just reset it.
Okay.
Clear.
Clear.
Yeah, there was a button for it, and then pick it, select it again.
Which one? Find stat spawning actor.
And see now.
And then query config actually
yeah, and it
shows.
adds this this one value,
There it
and you can
is.
specify.
And then we can be
here.
like, there too, right?
Well, that's convenient.
Yep, and actually, if I remember correctly, this is new for 4.11.
Yeah, you can pull this information from Blackboard as well.
Because before it was only hard
Yeah,
values.
that's another thing I added and already forgot.
Sweet. All right, so we could do it like this.
Yes.
Or,
which I totally forgot.
but yeah, until we said something, we didn't know. Yeah, exactly. I haven't been in here in 4.11 to see that the blackboard was there, because that was one of the big things that was kind of a nuisance, was you couldn't specify the value from anywhere that
dynamically,
wasn't hard.
basically.
Right, yeah.
So if you had a blackboard key that contained index to the most needed stat, you can just use it here.
Yep.
And that would be pretty much it.
So,
But since we already we haven't implemented that provider yet. Maybe
no, we haven't. No,
we don't have to.
technically we don't have to, but you said now.
It's
And I can almost
so easy.
I think I can quote you. One, it was so easy, and two, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Right. So why would you not do this?
Let's do it.
So let's go ahead and let's get that done. And so we're gonna need a new class and show all classes. And if I just type in data pro, yep, AI data provider. Now does
Yeah,
it
the
need-
basic one.
the basic one. Yep,
The basic one.
there
Yeah.
we go. And data data provider. Great class. While that's creating,
Let there be class.
let's go ahead and open these both up over here. All right. Would you like to install Visual Studio 2015?
No.
No.
Why would you ever?
No.
It said on the other screen.
Yes. It keeps asking us. I know
Ian
you
just
guys-
likes to say random phrases like that. Would you
see-
like to install this
Don't-
software?
Don't even. It says it every stream, and I bet anybody who's seen the stream before knows that it says it every stream. And it's usually down here in the corner.
No, I like the narrative better, where you're basically like McAfee.
I'm insane?
You're like McAfee antivirus in human form. You just keep popping up and saying stuff. But would you
Thanks.
like to install this?
Thanks, man. Thanks. That's.
What
I'm
has
feeling
been
the
imagined
love.
cannot be unimagined.
All right.
So we just need this.
We need. Looks like an.
No, we don't need those actually.
We don't need any.
Yeah,
we
we
don't
should
need-
be fine with
Just
those. No, we need to derive from query params.
We need
Yeah,
that.
I
Okay.
misled you. So instead, replace the first header.
This one.
Yeah.
And then. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. And then our U class here. I'm just gonna copy and paste this over. We can talk about any of the meta here, because this one looks like a little bit different here.
Mm-hmm.
So here in U class, in parentheses, edit inline.
Yeah.
view.
So this is a magic meta that makes sure when we pick a class like this from the dropdown in the EQS editor, an actual instance of the class is created there at that point. So when you put values in, you just configure a specific instance of the class of this class that we just save and then use it. If it wasn't here, I mean, that's interesting. What would happen, because other data providers do have it. So, but that could result in subtle bugs, like all the queries using this specific class could end up using the same instance. And whatever you would put in one would just affect all the queries that use this.
So it could
data
explode really quickly.
well, not it wouldn't crash probably, but it would result in a hard to track bugs.
Gotcha. And so it looks
It's like changing in one place would affect everything that uses it. That's what I'm saying.
and it looks like you have changed.
Yeah, the parent class is different.
Yes. So we're gonna.
Like I said, I misled you. I basically lied to you.
You lied to me.
Yeah, we don't need this API stuff.
Yeah, the bit that I just.
It doesn't hurt.
stream.
It's just like
We don't. Yeah.
it's not needed.
And instead of what was actually, I don't know what was over there. Instead of public UAI data provider, we're doing public UAI data provider query params.
Yeah.
And we're getting rid of this bit right here. No, class, whatever. And so that's good to go. And this has to do with your this bit up here, right?
Yeah, it's required.
And then we have a protected U property.
Uh-huh.
And that's
So as you can see, this property is not marked as like
Anything.
blueprint read write or exposed anywhere. That's because we don't need that because we have extra editor time magic going on for data providers that will simply expose this thing as a drop down instead of just a list. If you put multiple properties here, you would have a drop down that allows you to pick one from them, because that's what we're interested in at runtime, just one of those values, not all of them. And we just had to do some extra magic. But thanks to the way stuff is organized in Unreal, that was pretty easy. I mean,
Nice.
I think, because Luca did that. I know it was. I know it wasn't, like, it's possible, and it's not rocket science to do those things. It's not, like, trivial. We won't show you how. But those things are doable
Gotcha.
pretty easily.
And then our next chunk in our public section down here, it looks like we have another bind data.
That's the thing that does the calculation.
Does the calculation, and we're going to go ahead and override that. And then we have probably, it looks like another name here for our property.
You know what? Remove this one. I'm
Wanna
not
do
even
that?
sure it's necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just see what happens.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our .h and our .cpp. Again, empty. Looks like
So we need the character header, because we're going to try to extract info from a character, like character. That's the whole point of why we created this character class.
And let's see. We don't need the bottom one, but here is this function.
Yeah, and that's the thing that extracts data from given U object. So first we cast the given U object to our character class, and if it succeeds, we just pull data from it. We just and assign those values to the properties of data provider instance, and it's really simple. I mean, yes, it just works. I mean,
Magic.
it's magic.
There's a little bit of magic going
That's
on.
like so simple. There needs to be magic under the hood, but you don't need to care about that as long as you just assign values to your U properties of your data provider within the bind data class. It will just work magically.
All right.
And you don't worry about the request ID parameter. It's left over from the original use case of data providers, meaning tight connection to EQS. Now you can use data providers anywhere, so this parameter isn't really used. It's not important. So it needs to be there because it's the part of the data
looking for it,
function
right.
signature, but it's like don't worry about it.
Okay. Well then, I guess we're ready to try to compile it again. Cross your fingers again.
You can always hear
Cross your fingers.
the nervousness
Yeah.
of a programmer about to hit the compile button.
I mean, so
I
we
don't-
copy and pasted all of that. If this doesn't work, I'd be amazed. Because it mean that I would totally have forgotten something terrible. Or we really, really, really need that name.
I don't think so. It's just
You could just be bad at copy and paste.
I'm terrible at copy and paste.
Yeah.
You had to say
I
something.
went there.
yeah. See what you did?
All right. What do
Look
we
at
got?
that. Terrible copy and
does it say?
paste. That's exactly what
It's
those
not a
errors
class
mean.
or names. What?
Oh, no. Oop. Okay.
Some
Where's that?
leftovers.
Yeah, I didn't rename
Oh
this.
yeah, you didn't.
See, you didn't copy and paste the
Well,
No,
no.
I totally copy and paste.
He's too good at copying and
I'm
pasting.
too good at copy
copy
and
paste
paste.
game too strong. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So let's change that.
Yeah, that should be.
And
we have
no
the
any more
character
my's.
header.
No more my's.
Should be fine.
Okay, because I think that's probably where all the errors came from. Yeah, required. And that doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't know where anything is coming from. C declaration. Okay, let's try that.
Wait.
What is this one?
It says it doesn't. That this function isn't a member of the character. We might be missing this function in
Are we
the
missing?
character.
Are we missing a function on the character?
Yeah, it's a function I've added to extract the
That's
most needed thing
That's right.
from the character.
Yep.
It's a very simple thing. It basically loops through all the items in the stat desirability array and finds the index of the highest value. Simple as that.
So get most desired stat index. So we're back in the character.h.
As indicated by the name of the tab.
Actually, they may not be able to see it. This is only 1080p down here, and it's on Twitch.
Twitch compression can be
Twitch compression can be an
little rough.
absolute nightmare.
That's true.
But on YouTube later, the video quality will be much nicer, and then
Right.
Shelly will clean it up.
And Shelly zooms in all
do
nice
we
for
get
us.
this in 4K or how many Ks?
How many Ks? All the Ks?
1K. You get 1K.
Half a K.
You
That's
get-
1080 is 1K.
You get no Ks.
I'm gonna smack all of you.
Well, seriously, I mean,
We love you, Shelly.
wait, 1080 is 2K.
What?
I don't care. I mean,
Oh,
not
you're
really.
right, but it's 1920 by 1080. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, it doesn't-
We're moving on.
Yeah,
yes,
We're moving on.
intermission.
So it looks like there's a function that actually needs to go into the CPP file. For
So
this.
it's basically, like I said, a simple function that finds the index of most desired stat. It's trivial.
Trivial,
and-
yes, but not exactly short.
We actually might have a function. Well, okay, so we do have a function that would allow us to function in theory, that would allow us to implement it in like shorter fashion, but that would require implementation of something different, like operand, which we don't want people to do. So this is like, it's a very simple search. So that's what we do. We just look through all the items and find, like, compare.
Yeah, basically the biggest one.
Yeah.
So currently everything's going to flag as 1, but since it iterates through the array in the order of health, stamina, hunger, and hunger is the one that's ticking down always, hunger will show up as the most desired thing at most times anyway. So it's going to go through and get that. What we should do, and I don't think we have time on the stream to do it this time, is that we should have a function somewhere that is kind of normalizing out our array in such a fashion that there's always something that is highest and things are never equal, or come up with a completely different way of
There are
figuring
ways.
out what we
There are ways,
want,
or we could just
right?
have a static array somewhere specifying which stat is most important, and whenever we find the desirability that's equal in this loop, we refer to that one array to figure out which one is more important.
which one's better than the other. Gotcha.
But there are ways.
There are ways.
It's a simple problem.
Yep. This is what we are doing. Is not terribly complicated.
Yeah.
And so, yep, find the biggest one, and we're good. That should take care of our other compile problem. So let's compile. Crossing fingers. Should work. Take some bets.
Pause the stream.
Take your bets now, people. Huh?
Come on.
Huh?
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Actually completed. All right.
Goal.
All right.
You only get 3 points.
We only get 3 points.
Is that what
Oh.
that is?
Okay, so if we
Because
go
that was
back,
the second try, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was the second
Yeah.
try.
Yep.
That's right.
See, because it has points, like 4 points.
okay, so here I think
It's
we,
American football. It doesn't really.
Yep.
It's very confusing for me
Because of
too
the
when I
beer
live
or
in
something.
America.
so here
So this is the thing that's displayed here is the class name. We specified like the display name in the uClass meta.
Yep.
So just pick it.
And there it is, owner's properties.
And then you can see the drop down is what we put there, and the in value is from the superclass.
Yep.
Like, don't worry about it. It's like people ask why EQS is still experimental. Well, that's the reason why. The UI, the system is robust, and we use it all the time. And I would even say John Abercrombie would agree with me that Fortnite is using it a lot too much. We're using it like it's crazy amount, and bots in Paragon are using it as well, and like huge amount. Like when you in a 30-minute match with bots like Solo versus AI, you get like 30,000 of those processed through the whole game. So it's pretty efficient.
Pretty efficient. Yeah,
Pretty efficient.
we'll roll with that. We'll use some of this Paragon technology. Now, our param name though seems to be coming
Oh, that's
along
interesting. So
with it.
can you just
So we
just go with none first,
Did none.
and then go like pick. Oh, okay.
And I'll save and then
Pick
we'll
our-
click something here and then click something there kind of deal, or and then if we go back to owner, it's
That's interesting.
still filling out.
I need to look into it.
So shouldn't matter. I don't believe. Maybe it's
Can
just
you reset it? And just reset it.
oh,
Reset it more.
reset it harder.
That's interesting.
Can I just? No, I can't even delete it.
That might be. That's a bug.
We'll chalk it up to a bug. I'm assuming. Okay, I shouldn't assume.
You know
We
what?
should use.
Wait, just to be on the safe side, just add this test again. Just remove this one, add new one.
And we'll go. Actually, we'll go back here. We'll select this. And
Niall, just let me
we'll
take a note.
reset
Well,
that.
someone will take a note.
Take it out.
Just send me a short email saying this bug from the stream.
Okay, it's just going to say this bug. Sorry, I was in chat talking to people. I didn't even catch
Okay,
them.
tell people to send me an email.
At 3:13 in the stream. At 3.
Well,
Whatever.
that'll be an
3:13.
hour and 13.
At an hour and 13,
Hour 13
or an
in.
hour and 12.
Okay, note to self. Note to the people.
Not to the people.
Nope.
We the people.
And
Let's see here.
Ah!
oh, it does not want to die. That is
Did you remove the test?
yeah.
Like, I mean, the test, not the.
I removed this,
That's funny.
and it's like nope. I'm sticking it.
Okay, so that will be easier to repro then.
All right. And okay, so
Yes.
now the only reason we know this will actually work is if they perform the same behavior. Because we were talking about this before we got on the stream, that if we wanted this to work on EQS testing pawn, we'd have to create a new class for our EQS testing pawn and make sure that it can provide the data that we're grabbing from it right now. But since we can't do that, all we have is if we hit play, they should start doing stuff, and we'll be able to use the debugger to make sure the test is being run and is actually returning a value. Or it'll explode.
Big apples. Maybe.
So, yep, they're falling down, they're grabbing apples. And so what we can do now is, let's bring up this thing, the debugger here. Let's turn on EQS, turn off perception really quick. Turn off basic. And you can see...
What can we see?
Yeah, I know, let's, can I pause? Yeah, I can pause, there we go. Make sure, okay, we need to actually be on the next one. So which is is it the plus? I have to be running, don't I? Resume, plus, come on, no, click in, plus, there we go.
Oh,
Wait, is it the wrong one?
no. I don't know.
No, the first one was correct.
Hmm.
I believe, hold on, blackboard, behavior tree. This is not the right behavior tree. And
I keep forgetting they're going to fall down occasionally.
no, it's find stat spawning actor.
Yeah.
Just so you guys are, I'm just on. Come on, drag over. I'm just looking at the behavior tree on the other screen, and our EQS query is find stat spawning actor. And
it doesn't look right because we get score 0 for every item.
No, it's test 1.
Yeah, that's the 0.
No, that's distance.
No.
Distance.
Like I
No?
said, the EQS tests are getting sorted, and what you see in the debugging display is correct.
So
That's the order you get in actual.
so we're not returning anything.
So we need to. Can try debugging it.
Okay, what do we need to do?
Close the editor.
Yep, just close it all out.
Yeah,
All right.
why not?
Bring back you.
And
What do I?
wait, yeah, okay.
Again?
No. Cancel. Change the config, which is the drop down next to the Win64.
Okay.
Left.
This one?
Left there.
The other left.
The other
Even
left.
lefter.
The other lefter.
Yeah, and debug game editor. Yeah.
Okay.
And now F5. Yeah. This will allow us to debug game-specific code. The game-specific code will be built with debug information, so we can put a breakpoint and, like, when the game is running, see what is actually happening under the hood.
Well, then, do you know where we're going to want to hit our breakpoint?
No idea. So
Come on.
first put a breakpoint here at the return line and see.
This is the character, so
Yeah.
what, here, and then I know it's a click over here somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Or F9.
F9.
Yeah.
I like F9. F9's easier. We'll go with F9.
Yeah, and it basically shows you where you should click to get it.
Right there.
Yeah.
All right.
And you can also right-click on it and add extra conditions, like when this thing is greater than 0 or something. Like, we don't want to do that
Really?
here, but yeah, you have like conditional breakpoints.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
it is. C++ is awesome. Learn C++, kids.
Apparently.
Okay.
Jeez. Twist my arm.
Sure.
I need more. You know what I need?
Nope.
Does anybody know? Actually, I do know how to squeeze more hours out of the day. Apparently, the trick is just to block out all the sunlight. and you go into a really weird state where you start playing like 36-hour days.
Oh.
Yeah, not exactly the most healthy for you, but still completely functional.
And why would you ever do that?
I have no idea. All right, so...
What about social life? What's social life?
Social life. Okay, so now if we hit play, they should just... Somebody's going to hit a breakpoint. Oh, there we go.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see what's the value. Just mouse over it. 0. Wait.
Okay,
Why does it... Okay, so first of all, it shouldn't be a float. First of all, it should be int32. So that's the first bug in this function.
Okay, so...
But wait, but that's not... okay, so right click on the one of those first two lines, and I'll show you a super useful trick. And set next statement.
Where?
It's lower, and it basically one lower. Yeah,
Okay.
It basically kind of rewinds the function. I mean, the function control flow is back to display. So now we can see step by step what's going on. So just F10.
F10?
Yeah, it's just one step. One more step. One more step.
And what you want to see what?
Okay, so now, can you mouse over start desirability array?
Yes.
Yeah, and just
It has-
unfold it. It will show us. It won't. No!
No.
You don't have debug visualizers because Unreal 4 has a lot of specific types, and there is a tool for Visual Studio allows you to write your own visualizers for those types, so that when you have a T-ray like that, you can just see all the elements.
Well, but this should be... One of these should be set to 1, eventually, after the first run, shouldn't it?
Okay, so...
what is it, F10 you say?
Yeah, F10 is a step. But the thing is, the next step won't enter this. See, well, I think it does what it should. What are the values in the start desirability? If you have
1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0.
So it picks the first one in this case. That's why we get index 0. And then we have no items on the map
Right, because you're returning
that
index 0.
supply you with 0.
Because you hit the first one and you
Yes.
don't care. So if I hit...
We can start from the end, and then we would hit what we want, temporarily. We could do that from back.
Yeah, because it just skipped it over. Because it's no longer greater than the previous one. So, all right, so...
It's super easy.
Okay,
and I can tell you
how do
to
I...
So-
do I just stop in here?
You can just press stop button in there's the red square.
That's what...
Yeah, I'm just pointing at the screen so that people know.
Lord.
Yeah, it just kills everything. It kills the process.
Okay.
So first of all, change the most desired index to int32.
So...
Because it's it's an index. Why it's a float? It's a bug. And then stat index equals.
Stat index equals...
Yeah. Stat desirability num, this thing basically.
Right here.
Yeah. This one -1.
-1, and then at the very end, minus stat index.
Yes, but one more thing.
Okay.
Stat index greater or equal 0.
Okay.
Because we're just basically iterating from the back. Now, and it's 0. Oh, yes. And now we'll find index 2. Should. But, thanks to debugging, we can just play now.
All right.
Just put a breakpoint, F5, and it will compile.
Okay, Control S, F5. Yes.
So once you start working with Unreal in C++, you never want to go back.
Actually, I'm getting that feeling.
So it's
it's
the next step.
I love Blueprint. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love Blueprint.
When I build
prototyping.
but when I build prototyping stuff, it's just it's so convenient to just click stuff. Especially if you have tools like behavior trees or EQS, it's just super convenient.
It makes a lot of sense. But then suddenly it's
But
I'm getting the feeling like creating complex things.
That's the thing. When
spirals a little too far out of control.
When stuff gets complex, it's a lot better to have that in C++ because it's a lot easier to find your way around and query objects about. Ta-dam!
2.
Wow, nice.
All right. So we found it.
Debugging online. Oh,
And,
not online. It's live.
Remove that. Continue. There we
Live
go.
debugging.
and we can hit
Yeah,
that.
show the
and then
request results. People know what you're hitting, right?
3. Yeah, so I'm hitting the single quote to bring up this awesome display.
It's
And
zero.
then
Okay, so
numpad.
there's more bugs apparently.
Yeah, numpad, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across the top there do things. And so, well, no.
Yeah, it's still wrong, but we can find what's.
Why is it displaying wrong then?
I mean, no, it's displaying properly. I mean, the values are wrong. The test's value for every item is 0, which means it's something what we haven't anticipated. My guess would be that's this bug with data provider, that it has this named parameter that we don't want to.
Yeah.
But since we're in the C++, we can try to debug it. Can you go back to, don't stop it. Just go to C++.
Okay. Where are we going?
And the EQS test.
It's not even up here anymore. Yes. Stat test.
And put a breakpoint at the beginning of the function. I'm pretty sure we do
Which
have
function? Stat test or run test?
Run test.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we do have an owner here, but just to be on the safe side. And F10. Let's just see where it takes us.
Okay, we get
Okay.
past null.
Yeah, pass through all those 3 and see what the needed stat value.
You want
The needed stat variable. It's const, but
2.
it's 2. Okay.
Okay, it's 2.
Okay.
Well, one way or another, I mean, one way or another, it's going to be 2 because we had the 2 in there.
Yeah. Okay. So, but
behind
this
the scenes and-
proves the parameter is right.
Yeah.
The named parameter that's left over from the previous data provider is ignored, which is fine.
Yep.
That's what we need.
And then-
So
Oh,
no items generated. Come on, seriously? Oh, okay. So that's the smart part of the iterator. The iterator is time sensitive. When you spend too much time with a single item, it will just process this item in the next frame. So just put a breakpoint inside the loop. F5. Oh yeah, remove this one. F5, and we will just end up in this function like in the next run or something.
okay.
Okay, so let's see what we got here. F10 and F10 and
To there. Do you want me
okay,
to
so
try again?
what's the item score? Should be probably 0, right? Yeah.
0?
Okay, and this item is
Null.
So basically the stuff we get as items are not of this class. That's what it's saying.
Did we crash out and not re-inherit?
Yeah, maybe reparenting is not there.
Yeah, that would.
But see, that's how you easily solve problems. With C++.
Oh, it's not going to let me back. Okay, so.
Yeah, you can remove the breakpoint F5 and you'll just get your regular editor.
There we go. Again. Ah! Okay, stop. And now let's go into our.
The thing. The items, the apples, or
base
whatever.
classes, good food class.
Okay, so we need to see the generator then.
Okay, well, here's the thing. So they're generating that. These guys are actually producing, I believe, plant food, but they inherit from good food. So, where's the spawn here? Spawn. Okay, they're spawning plant food item. The plant food item should inherit from good food item.
Unless it didn't get updated or recompiled or something.
It inherited good food class. Good food class is of type stat item. So casting should work, yeah?
Okay, so there are ways to see what we're getting. You need to go back to press play.
Okay.
Get back to that test in C++, the EQS test.
Yep, this one.
Yeah, and put a breakpoint inside this. Yeah, and
Okay.
get F10 and item actor
Item actor.
and
Information unavailable. No symbols loaded for you. Editor engine.dll.
okay, that's funny. Can you yeah, just unfold it. That's interesting. Well, we're missing some data, but it says it's just like an object. Can you show me the EQS generator?
The C++ for the generator?
No, the EQS generator
yeah,
that generates those things on the map.
Yep. Generator. Oh, yeah. I don't think we're creating vectors. We should be creating actors.
Are we creating vectors? No, we should be creating actors.
I think we're creating vectors.
Ha! So it's not crashing just because I've added some safety features.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would be crashing.
Yeah. Oh man, we'll close the behavior tree because it's easier to know. It should be items of stat. So item of stat is generating actors.
Ah.
It is generating. It is casting to good food class.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually passing in good food class.
Ah.
Should we just be passing in an actor?
It doesn't really.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter because I mean, cast. Who cares?
Yeah.
And so I mean, this should be generating something. In fact, well, we know it's generating things because they run around and they grab them.
Yeah, it's basically this one test is not working because the things generated are not of expected type. That might be the 411 issue actually, because it should work from what I've seen with those blueprints. And
I mean, yeah, because it's as long as it's within a range, like this is just a quick range check. Then it's like, okay, cool, it is of primary stat index. Oh. Hold up.
But still, it doesn't explain why the casting failed. But
okay, so the trees are of stat 2, and I do not believe open blueprint editor. Yeah, nope. They are not passing in their primary stat index. So all the plant food items are being generated as 1 or 0. So the food literally no longer has a primary stat index on them.
it's a different kind of problem then. Because one of the problems is even if we had proper items, we would get wrong information from them. But the bigger problem here is that we're not getting the items we expect in the first place.
Yep.
Which is I cannot explain. I mean, it should work because it's a blueprint class instances that derive from a specific class we try to cast to. That's
see, these are set to 2. These are set to 2. They have a big return on 1, but it's still a small return on 2. So.
And we don't care about other stats. We just look for the stat at index 2 and read that value.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem is we're not getting the actor type we expect.
Right. So
can you go back? Can you go to the good food class?
Yep.
Good food item. Yeah. And it has this stat item here.
Yep.
As if the. Okay. that will be funny. Can we, instead of casting to good food item, can you try casting to the C++ class we have? To that one type?
Sure.
And see if that, and then we will just debug it through blueprints.
So you mean our item of stat instead of casting here to good food? Because we're just getting location. Primary stat index is our new C. We do have that in C++.
Yeah, everything will just work. Just change this cast to this AI CPP stat item.
Yep. Stat item. Control. It's amazing.
It's amazing how easy it is.
One connects, one doesn't connect. Because
you just want to patch up.
I believe. Yep. That's odd, but whatever. Bloop. Bloop. And then we'll just reroute nodes are just weird that way. Well, it's literally a reroute node for good food class.
Okay.
So it's just like, nope, I will accept nothing but.
Okay.
Even though everything is still provided, through everything.
Okay, and now put a breakpoint on the add generated actor and see let's see what we actually get here.
Okay.
And if we get an actual instance here and we cannot cast to this class in C++, then there's something utterly wrong, and we need to let Blueprint team know, because it's like a serious bug.
I'm adding.
Yeah, okay. Let's mouse over on the pin and see what we're getting.
It is
Like a valid reference.
It's applied food. Yeah, it's a big old reference.
Okay.
And now,
Now put a breakpoint inside this loop.
bloop, and then remove this one so that we can just let it rad. Resume.
Yeah, F10 twice.
F10.
Yeah. S stat item.
Whoa.
S that's normal. S stat item. That's what we're interested in.
Where?
The variable.
This one?
Yeah.
No.
Sounds like
No.
like a serious bug in Blueprint. Glad we find it before 4.11 shits, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is preview 6. 4.11 hasn't shipped yet, so.
Experimental.
We're weirdly this is working, but it's not.
It's working for other reasons. I mean, we have two tests in the EQS query. One is testing the distance, and the other would be testing how much of the stuff you have, so that we can still go further for a thing that has more of the stuff. But the stuff amount test doesn't work because it's unable to just cast to a class we know this thing is off. Yeah. So I'll debug this thing and talk to Blueprints team or create a ticket for it and update the forum post, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
That's what we got. And
'Cause it's pretty big.
yeah.
But on the other hand, I really wanted people to see the things we are getting with 4.11.
Well, we can continue on with next week.
Oh yeah.
If you wanna-
That would be amazing.
Yeah, so Tuesday next week.
We can even have this bug fixed by then.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty big. It's a pretty big bug.
A little bit, because it seems like we're not doing anything weird. It doesn't. I don't think we're doing anything.
No,
weird
it's
anyway.
nothing weird.
So yeah. Well, anyway,
Q&A?
I think it's Q&A time at this point because we've gotten through everything. We've
Alright.
shown how quickly you can make C++ classes. The fact that generating even an EQS test, something that would be kind of intense, isn't terribly intense.
I had that in like in university, like during exams, and we had like
Getting the nervous.
like oral exams.
Nervous
so that
blushes.
like you went inside and the guy was asking questions, and that was like one-on-one. So when I was getting out of this kind of exam, the friends always asked me like if the guy beat you or something. I was always getting a 5. I mean, A.
Holy Moses.
I'm glad you guys didn't get to see this, but there was a day he came in with a black eye, and I'm like, how are we going to put you on camera?
There's no proof of that.
I think we have video. I'm pretty sure we have video. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, I'm like when you spar, you get those things. That's normal. I mean, I'm not ashamed. It's a mental thing to get hit on occasions.
I've seen the video of you spar, and
he's dangerous.
Richard has a couple of videos of you sparring down on the down the other room.
Okay, well I'm gonna have to get a hold of those and put those on Twitter.
It's really awesome. It's actually really cool.
That's awesome.
Especially since you're fighting somebody who doesn't, from what I can tell, you're sparring against somebody who doesn't really know kind of what to expect from you, and you're very active.
Yeah. Is this the one I did with John?
I think so.
So that was like by definition no contact sparring. It's like no contact means I'm just showing you I could hit you, but it's useless. I mean, it's like
I thought you were just messing with them and
that was
waiting
basically
for him to do something stupid, and then you're just gonna knock him out.
No, I was just moving. I was like exercise.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Q&A.
Q&A.
Yeah,
All right,
okay.
let's see.
So first question that's up. This is very.
It's driving me crazy. Okay, sorry.
But I was hiding my starburst.
It's rocking back and forth and driving
There was
me
a
up the wall.
starburst the entire
There
time.
was a starburst.
Sorry.
That's gotta go.
My
Okay,
gosh.
first question.
Yes, what are some optimizations that we can perform to help push more AI on screen at once? I guess this is a very kind of general question. What's
a
the
very generic
first
question.
thing you go to when you have a large crowd of people on screen and you want to optimize that?
So that's character poly count, the number of animations, basically your animation blueprint. You really want to move it to C++ if you want to have a lot of guys. And it also, you need to be careful with what you're doing with AI. If you have like very simple behavior tree without any ticking nodes, it's just fine, it will just fly. But if you have a behavior tree with a lot of blueprint implemented nodes that have their own tick, it is going to be a disaster. So you need to be smart about stuff. You cannot just use everything and expect it to work fast, because it's just not the way it works. I mean, it's not a common use case of engines that you want to have like a lot of stuff on the screen. It's an optimized engine. It's like really good for graphics, but you can still kill it. Like you can kill performance by doing dumb stuff.
You get just too much at once and then you'll overwhelm.
Yeah, basically
it.
you need to be reasonable.
He means bullet train and what I did on it.
You got away with like a lot of blueprint stuff there.
Yeah, we did some really weird things like
Yeah, but still.
stopping execution, no tick, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like behavior tree nodes, that
Yeah.
was all in blueprint, but you really put a lot of effort in making sure those are not ticking nodes, right?
Yeah,
because
we
that
try to
would
make
kill it.
Yeah, we try to make everything event based.
Yeah.
That way, it's just the behavior tree hits, it swarms everything, and then our nodes kind of grab it, hold it, do something, and then release it
Yeah.
again.
I guess that's the best high level advice. If you want to have just one single advice on how to make your stuff faster, is use event-driven approach. That's for sure.
Yep, I feel like that's something that we go over every now and then whenever we have to do anything in blueprints in general. It's event is better than tick when you have to, and it makes perfect sense. Otherwise, event-driven is the best way to do things.
Basically, less ticking, the better.
Yes, exactly.
I like this question.
Well, actually, both of these questions are basically the same kind of general question, and it's something we've covered in earlier streams. But can behavior trees and blackboards be shared between multiple AI? And if so, how does that work? What kind of power does that unleash? And the other one, which is pretty related, is would it be beneficial to have one master behavior tree with lots of different states, or is it better to have individual behavior trees for each person? And we know that yes, you can share the behavior trees. You can have any AI can say run behavior, what have you, on there.
It depends. Like there are advantages and disadvantages of both approaches. And if you have, like in general, I would say if your tree grows too large, then really consider splitting it up just for your own sanity's sake.
Yeah, I tend to take little chunks of it and kind of make them into functions by having sub-behavior trees.
Yeah, you can always split things into smaller trees and use run behavior or run dynamic behavior tree nodes. So it depends. Performance-wise, the only thing to remember if you use one behavior tree for a lot of different AIs is every single time the tree will start from the root, it will have to process all this stuff that's pretty much constant for your specific, like this specific AI agent. So that's the wasted performance. So if you have like 4 subtrees, every single sub branches, and every sub branch is specific for a specific AI type, and then you have a lot of guys that are last, then all the 3 branches will always get processed in vain, like wasting the CPU. And so in that case, it's a lot better to have just separate trees.
Okay.
Okay.
What I use personally is I have a kind of thing where I have the individual classes, and then I know that the classes that are going to share certain properties, I just kind of make those behavior trees into semi-functional, like functions basically, and then I have them kind of have their own unique thing, and then call those functions as contextually necessary.
There's a fair amount of stuff you can also do by just parameterizing your behavior trees. Basically, it means putting stuff in the blackboard and have values from the blackboard drive your tasks, like the move goal, like move destination can be in blackboard, and that's approach I've taken for Paragon bots, because there was not a lot of time to implement that stuff. So every single bot in Paragon is using just a single tree, and it's not that there are separate sub branches for different classes, it's just all the same. and behaviors are just parameterized with stuff from Blackboard, pretty much.
Yeah, so like, when can I use an ability? An ability will have like a range on it.
Yeah, that's one of the things you notice. You can now put a EQS query in the Blackboard and then use that in the run EQS query task in the behavior tree, which means like you can have identical behavior, just the positioning different, just by putting the query in the Blackboard.
Oh wow, cool.
Just one extra, there was a sub question that for that was sharing Blackboard values. Just so you guys remember, there is an instant sync ability. It's not great.
And does it work?
Yeah.
I mean, it should work.
It works.
We're just not using it.
Let me forget. It works in 410. The last time I checked it, it works in 410.
Okay.
Whether or not it works in 411,
it should work. My two things about it is that we're not using it in internal projects. That's why I cannot 100% assure you that it works. And the other thing, the missing feature, is that it's syncing throughout all the instances of the given Blackboard, which means like it doesn't care about teams. And if you have 2 teams or more in your game, all the AIs with this Blackboard will have the very same value in this key.
yeah.
Which it still has its uses.
It could, if you had like a kind of a global state that you wanted to set for all your AI. But even like an alarm state, like if alarm's going off in a facility, it's not like you want all of your AI then to be
It's
alarmed.
not a good idea. But that would be like a sixth sense. Suddenly everyone knows where you are. And stuff like that.
Go get them or whatever. All right. So next question. One of my biggest hurdles is figuring out when and why some AI gets stuck and what to do about it. I'll see a message in the output window get fired right as it gets stuck, but I don't know how I can get access to it so I can correct it. It's probably there is a message like something
the AI
block,
block
the
detection,
AI move
the
fail
block.
blocked.
You remember
or,
we had talked about how to get that like a while back with an issue I think John Alcatraz was having where he was running into a wall and he needed to get outputs for what all the different outputs meant.
If I know, the thing is, what he's asking is the engine already knows that I'm stuck. Why can't I use it to do something?
Hang on.
Because he's doing the same thing that I did for Bullet Train, which is I have a function, I have a service running. It simply says, have I moved so far in X amount of time? If not, I might be stuck.
So we do have a block detection in the path following component. I'm pretty sure it's path following component. And which basically checks AI's progress, and if AI doesn't move more than specified value in specified time, then we assume it's blocked, and we fail the movement request then, and the behavior tree task that requested the movement will fail and stuff like that. And currently there's no exposed way to react to that. You would need to implement your own C++ path following component for your project, but then you would be able to just override this, like plug into the whole mechanism and get notified. And wait, there actually is a way on path finish, and I think it's available in Blueprint somewhere as well. It does give you the result of the movement request, and one of the results is blocked. So you should be able to react to that, even in Blueprints.
There's nothing on the. I'm currently in the editor looking at the.
Are you in the side AI? Component?
This is AI controller, and I'm on the path following component to see if there was anything. And
type path finished.
Path.
Okay.
Maybe in the.
Okay. Can you put the AI move to node? I think it has this one exposed. No, lower. The last one.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this one has the.
Yeah, and the movement result.
Movement result. Yeah,
might be the. That's the
success blocked on So basically,
that gives you a way to get this information.
Right, and you could create your own task then.
Yeah.
So
if you really
since the move to task is in C++ and it doesn't have this exposed, you could create your own blueprint task really quick, or a C++ task that implemented something
or you can
on block. Well, also is this a latent node?
Yes.
So this just passes through, and then you would have to do, okay, so on success, on fail, is blocked, off path, aborted, skipped, and invalid, are those all failure states?
Then a success
invalid
is-
shouldn't happen ever.
Okay,
But
well,
yes,
the other ones.
Yes.
Okay, so those are all failures. So you would have a on fail come off here
Yeah, if
to a
blocked,
branch,
then-
and then do something.
You can just do it on a switch. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it on a switch.
Instead of like just branching it for each
Or
one, do a switch.
or not equal success.
There you go.
right. Like it depends on what you want to do. So on fail switch,
Yep.
and then blocked,
And then you can just have it print out whatever it is, or
or print out, or redo, or choose a new location, or something along
You
those lines.
need to drag it from on fail.
Oh well, yeah. There's that too.
Because this one will the first output triggers instantly, and the next two trigger when the movement finishes.
Yeah, the delegate will fire off. And,
That's good to know.
yeah, so this can, and also allows you to do, AI move 2, then do a bunch of other stuff while he's moving off to the line there, or this,
Like shooting, for example.
Yeah, exactly. And then this will just happen when it happens.
When he gets there.
Yep. Or doesn't.
He just decides he's done, and then
I'm done. I'm not walking anymore.
Yep, because that's what they'll do.
Goodbye, cruel.
All right.
All right. Yes. Next question on the list here.
I would like to know more about Epic's plan on making dynamic query parameters in EQS. I
There
think
you
we
go.
just, I think we just
Did.
Yep.
covered that
Cool.
because of the EQS bit now has in 4.11 now has Blackboard accessibility. So that's it.
We did it.
Good job, team. High fives.
Is it possible to procedurally alter path cost so that pathing choice can be affected based on dynamic agent/world state?
It is, but in C++. So the way a cost gets calculated for a path is we have the path query filter thing, and it is possible. There's an option that is, I think it's even on by default. That allows you to create your own filters and then implement the get cost function, because it's a virtual function then, and then you just get, but you get pretty raw data, but you can use that. You get information on the polygon. I don't quite remember what are the details of this function. Basically, it gets called during the pathfinding for every single connection between two polys. But I don't remember if you get a poly information on polyref. But it's doable. So you just have to do it in C++.
So dynamically, it's doable in C++ because
Yes.
I know you can do it statically in World using volumes and turning
Yeah,
them
yeah,
off and on, but it never gets refired. Like my cost has been determined that this is the shortest path, and if I turn on something that increases the cost, he never recalculates and he goes right through it.
So the having virtual pathfinding filters basically allows you to have different costs for depending on environment. If you have a guy that's running, like the first guy is running, that's fine. The second guy is running, but someone starts shooting at him, the same area can have a different cost. But again, that's virtual, and that would be more expensive. Like if you want to have a lot of guys on your screen, you don't want to use virtual functions. Use them as little as possible. So that's yet another thing to bear in mind. But in short, it's doable in C++.
Well, this is a good question. How is path length for nav-link proxies calculated? Does it use the linear distance between the endpoints? A path using a link proxy with nav area default is showing significantly lower cost than a very similar path directly over the nav.
So the cost is based on the direct distance between endpoints. So if you have different, like you observe something different in your use case, that might be a bug, and someone needs to file it, and we need to investigate it. But yeah, it's just the distance between endpoints of the link.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Is the navigation system set up such that it is possible to add a custom implementation of a navigation data to handle a different kind of movement, for example, hanging/climbing along structures? Combine these in a level with the regular nav mesh, and the pathfinding will automatically integrate both. So
adding a custom navigation data is fully supported and easy, and both Fortnite and Paragon do that. However, it won't seamlessly automatically connect those two when pathfinding. In Paragon, we directly specify which one to use, and Fortnite has their own addition to navigation system. We call them hybrid navigation paths, which allow you to have some part part path is specified one type of nav data, and another one that like the pieces are of a regular nav mesh, but that's a Fortnite specific solution, and we might want to move it to higher level at some point, but first there's a lot of stuff we need to fix on the navigation system side, because it has been growing for years now, and we have a lot of use cases we didn't have while creating it, so it's rough around the many edges. So, yeah.
All right.
But it's doable.
All right.
So what is the timeline for moving gameplay tasks from pawn actions?
Of moving to,
Yeah,
as soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
All right.
Well, yeah, but
Okay, so
But how as soon as possible? Like game industry, soon is such a
6
large
months,
variable.
within 6 months. I know Łukasz
okay.
started moving pawn, replacing pawn actions with gameplay tasks in Fortnite. It's not as straightforward, but it's happening slowly. Like I'm saying half a year because we have a lot of other things going on, and there's not too many AI programmers that touch the engine, namely 3.
Yeah.
Namely, Countly.
Yes, because it's a lot of people in games right now and
Yeah.
kind of scattered.
Yeah.
this
So-
is interesting.
We're doing things by the way.
All right.
Is it possible?
Yeah, is it possible to unregister a stimuli source from a controller that has a perception component? Example: AI controller possesses eye actor. Eye can only see but cannot be seen. I can see people's eyes. I can see yours.
Wait,
Is this the mirror joke?
is this
How can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real?
Thanks, Jaden.
You're real?
Thanks.
Jaden, never. We'll tell you later.
so
It's
in
an
general
American
it should I think the question is about, can I be an observer without being a source of perception, and if so, being a source of perception is on by default, but there should be an option allowing you to just simply disable it. I mean, by default all pawns are sources of sight stimuli. It should be somewhere in settings, somewhere. And
Yeah,
I mean,
arcades.
those being perception listener or observer doesn't imply being a source of stimuli. Those two things are separate, and you should be able to configure it. That's why we have like perception stimuli source components, so that you can be one while not being a pawn, and you should also be able to not be one even if you are a pawn. That might be project settings.
Yeah, because it seems like perception stimulus source, like you can leave off auto register and then just not register
Yeah, that's
or
another
something.
thing. Yeah.
Which seems like it might be a effect. Like so, if
Wait,
this,
okay. By default, all pawns are sources for visual stimuli. So you would need to disable this first before you start messing around with sources being auto-registered and not.
yeah, they look.
Can
like
you
they,
open
they
a-
see each other.
Can you open project settings?
Yeah. Project settings.
Project settings.
What's going on over here? AI system.
Maybe.
Maybe. Oh man, this is so hard.
Perception system class.
No. Let's see. I mean, you got your perception.
I'm pretty sure it is somewhere. Alex, can you just send me an email so that I remember to? I will just follow up on this one on the thread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can get this one on then.
Because I'm pretty sure there is an option to disable the
Yeah, you just
pawns
have to.
are auto visible things,
Okay.
viewable, observable.
All right. I will put that into the list of things to answer when you get a chance to research them.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Um,
Oh. You got this one?
What?
make a character acquire the properties after this.
I think you can just set everything after begin play.
Well, I mean, one, I can set it after begin play. Two, you could pass it in like when you spawn it. Three, you could have it request it from the world or whatever you want.
There's multiple ways.
And
basically.
that's a very broad question. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're thinking more something like the most complicated thing I could think is like you want the AI to be aware of something the second it spawns, well, you just tell the AI that I've spawned when you construct the thing that's spawning.
For example.
Yeah.
We just did the Zach Parrish Blueprint communication stream. That might
Yeah,
be a
so
good one to refer
delegates
to
and
for,
things along those lines.
like when something appears, let's have the event trigger and all that. So
Yep.
yeah, that would probably be a good stream to check out if you're curious about how do you pass that info over when you spawn.
Yep.
All right. When is the case to implement function in header file instead of CPP file? They saw you do that earlier, and
Yeah,
I
your
guess they're
magical
curious
voodoo.
When and why?
So there are two kinds of functions you implement in the header file. One is once you specifically mark as a force inline, and it basically it's as if you were directly reading the memory, the value from the memory, the actual property, instead of like the function is not there. It's just a syntactic thing, meaning you write it as a function, but in practice it's just as if you were accessing the property directly. That's the force inline thing, the inlined function. Basically, it means like the function internals are being put in place of actual call. There's no overhead. The other one that we had, I didn't put force inline in front of it, and it basically means you compiler, you figure it out if it makes sense or not.
Okay.
And then compiler makes like the decision, and he's usually a lot better at those things than humans. So it either makes it inline or not.
Okay.
It depends on the compiler. And the first one I made force inline because I knew that's just the way we want to use it.
Cool.
It's like a simple getter.
Anything else quickly in chat? 'Cause
Nope.
If not,
I think
People fell asleep.
I think that was an excellent job. You did a great job. Those were all the answers that they were looking for there. So yeah, really, thank you so much for
Timed.
coming on. I mean, we are 2 hours in, so at this point, I was surprised that.
and we're bringing Mieszko back next Tuesday.
And on
We had a request for some advanced programmer to advanced programmer talk. And
so we brought
we're-
on this advanced programmer to do that.
So this was more of an advanced programmer to intermediate, maybe.
We heard you
newbie.
like advanced programmers.
Yeah.
So that
Right. So
Getting you into,
but
getting your feet wet a
we
little.
hear you guys really want to know some deep divey stuff. So he's
So
gonna
I
come
guess
back on for
that
us.
Yeah.
that will be like chat heavy stream, right? Like a lot of we'll
Yeah, this is
interacting
it's
with
more of a
people.
lecture stream. We'll see if
Yeah,
we can
lecture.
walk away. We'll see if
Yeah,
we
it
can
would
walk
be-
away
it would-
with something because we like that. We like having
Yeah.
that on the stream where you guys walk away with something tangible. But sometimes getting into a lot of C++, it's going to be the knowledge you walk away with instead of the.
It's not quite. It's
the-
not
the
quite
project.
something you can physically get a hold of, downloadable, or
and
whatever.
we
But
are
yeah.
like one of the ideas for this stream is so that like while talking about some game specific thing, I will be referring to engine sources so that like we're doing this because this engine source file, and then like show you stuff why it's this way or another.
Yeah. Yep.
Useful
and-
stuff for advanced people.
You got anything for Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday it's going to be. I'm still trying to nail down the third guest, but it's going to be Lauren, Richard, and maybe you or Alan Noon, depending on which one of you is more free. But we would
Which one
like-
is more fun?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Which one is more fun?
Alan.
Yeah, just
Noon.
vote.
It's going to be noon. Yeah. So, but what we want to do is do a follow-up with her on a post-mortem of all the things that we've learned after match 3 went out. It's all the stuff that you learn when you actually make a game and not just theorize about it or make a little section of it, or you actually put it on the market and what do you find out? And we learned a ton.
We learned a lot.
We learned a ton about what it takes to go from point A to point B, and we've grown the engine in ways because of that. And so we wanted to bring them on to discuss how we've learned and grown from that experience. It was really a lot of fun to watch them develop it and then put it out there and see all the reactions.
Yep.
Yeah. So excellent. Thank you all for coming out and joining us. We'll see you again on Thursday.
Maybe I will.
You know,
Maybe.
maybe
If you're
maybe-
funny enough.
Yeah, if you vote for Ian, I'll
Yeah,
make
just
it a
vote-
Twitter poll.
Vote Ian.
You
That's
guys
it.
voted. Yeah,
Vote Ian.
great. It's gonna be a Twitter poll.
Yeah, that's
Great.
right. That's right.
Great. All right, guys, take it easy.
See ya.
We'll see you next time.